Hello and welcome everybody to another round of ALR. Hello and welcome everybody. Turn my sound off there. Welcome to round 3 of the 11th season of ALR's GT3 series or Group 3 series. This round will take place on the Nurburgring 24-hour circuit. And welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining. Very good to have you as always. So we're going to have a 15-minute sprint race followed by a 40-minute feature race with a reverse grid and rolling start. This will be on both the GP circuit and the Nordschleife. And yeah, it's a very long lap, but that kind of showed itself in quali when we have 13 runners here right now. Only 8 of them crossed the line before the timer ticked out, which is unfortunate, but there's only so much you can do there. For our top 3 quali times, we have Stefan and P1, who had an 8-minute 18.314. Followed by SD with an 8:22.856, and Zelda with a 8:23.7. So Stefan's got pretty good pace to show here, as we get ourselves ready. And just to go down the rest of the order, we have Turdy, P4, P5 is D-Dubs, P6 Reese, P7 Monty, P8 Quackhouse, P9 Schumacher, P10 Munkin, P11 Crackavelli, P12 JP, and P13 to round out Lord Hands. So let's get moving with the race. And as I do try, I've had minimal spoilers. Small inklings of what happened. I think we're in for a good race though. And for round 3, we are a little bit of an early start there. Jumped the line by D-Dubs, so he's got a little penalty. 5 lights out and away we go. Reese loses out to Quackhouse right off the bat, but the top 4 stay the same so far. And we're going to see a little bit of bottlenecking here at turn 1. Munkin seems to have gotten a good off there, but we have to go back because somebody went and lost a little bit of control. See if we can get a better look at what happened here. Oh, that's Turdy going, and Reese as well, going both off to the right immediately, losing a good handful of spots there. Schumacher is ghosted at the moment, so we're going to be having some fun times moving around there. Stefan will keep the lead so far with SD and Zelda behind him. Quackhouse has moved up into P4 from their starting place in P8, so that's up 4 places already. It's a very good start to a sprint. Schumacher tries to make a move on the inside with a little late break and turn it on Turdy. Turdy gets a little knocked over, so he has to slow down a bit to keep himself on track. Lord Hands has moved up a handful of spots here, which is good racing for him. And he'll, for now, at least keep this position on Turdy, but Turdy does have a slight... No, he's going to beat him entirely to the turn. Almost at the inside there from Turdy. Lord Hands gets a little bit of trouble coming out above towards the end portion of the GP circuit. Crackavelli is making a challenge on Reese, and Turdy's got the inside of Reese and a little bit of head space, so they're going to come out the same there. That's not looking too good. Sorry about that. Keep an eye on the first couple guys here just to be sure we're all good. Essie's making a little bit of a chase here on Stefan. Zelda's keeping probably a good safe distance behind. Oh, Quackhouse takes a bit of grass there and goes off and hits the wall. He's got a little bit of damage there on his front left tire and his bumper. So he's going to drop down a bit. And JP, oh, goodness. So JP will come in right behind him as Quackhouse is trying to correct from his mistake, get back on track. JP goes a little, oh, that's a bit unfortunate there, but yeah, Quackhouse was taking the brunt of that. Oh, Munkin's gonna go off here. Goes probably accelerate a little too early. But he's got a bit of space, so it's alright. I am absolutely loving Turdy's livery here. A little adjustment for Halloween, which is tonight. Happy Halloween to everybody. Munkin's got a bit of trouble there, so he is going very slow, and D-Dubs goes straight to the back of him there. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's not really much of a place to go here. Track's 2.5 cars in width, and I think he's trying to get off the line, but D-Dub doesn't really see. That quick enough, it seems. And it's just going to get tougher here, especially during this. Yeah, he just didn't have enough time to move out of the way. Unfortunately, Turdy keeps himself out of the mess and continue. You're 3 minutes into the lap, so we got another 5 minutes left in this, just for the first lap. And he moved around pretty wildly in the back from P4 and back. Top 3 have kept it all together so far. Pretty close here in the back, so it's probably going to be some more action, so we'll keep an eye out on what's going on there. There's a lot of more distance going on up here. Probably about a 4-second gap here from Zelda to Stefan, which is pretty impressive to see, but not too surprising considering Stefan's well put together lap there in quali. So we got space all the way down until P5, and then it's supposed to bunch up a bit. Also, we didn't go through tires. Not that there's too much of a tire strategy in this. Not in the sprint, at least for most of these cars, there won't be much strategy. Probably a few on mediums, I guess. Oh, that's unfortunate there. Reese will lose out on a spot. A little tap there. Not really a lot of space. Probably should slow down a smidge, but cool. So, Stefan, as probably predicted, is on softs. Zelda's also on softs. That would be everybody. So everybody's on the same compound. Obviously, all these cars will have different tire wear rates, and as well as just the influence on driving style is pretty strong there. This is a track where you kind of have to make sure you're not burning too much rubber, but if you gotta keep ahead, you gotta keep ahead. This long uphill section here, which will lead kind of into the last half of the back of the ring before we get to the absolutely massive straight. So we'll see some more action here in a second, and looks Looks like Zelda is caught up to Stefan a little bit there. Missed on what happened. Reese just kind of pulls up on the accelerator too fast, coming off the carousel there and into the wall. He's got to get moving quickly before he gets another couple places behind. SD's out here all by himself. JP, he's got a good bit of space behind him as well. Not too much, but a couple seconds. A little bit of time gives you a little bit of security and not having to push terribly hard and make mistakes. So, always see some better tire usage there. Monty goes a little bit off on a pretty tricky right-hander. Not a lot of space to run off, so so it could be Jason's shoulder is just dirt and mud. So, other stuff. And Stefan will keep his P1 lead, seemingly going into the big straight, which is just a pretty good fraction of it, 25.4 kilometer long track. Features 185 corners, which is absolutely mental. Tried doing telemetry for it this week and gave up because there's too many corners. Keep moving the lap. Can't tell anything. I did not have the time for it. Zelda will keep behind Stefan here on the long straight, so we're going to keep positions there. And Vito's will have a draft on JP. Joe, there's a little bit of a step up on the Porsche. We'll have another pass here as well. Rockwell is having trouble getting enough speed to get past completely, and he's got Turdy going up the left here to pass both of them, as well as Monty. Him and Turdy have gotten incredible offings into the straight. It looks like Monty will keep lead for the moment in Supra. This is going to be fun. So everybody brakes a little bit differently. Yep, and just good on these drivers for keeping it clean. Unfortunate there for Crackavelli. I think just gets a bit caught up trying to brake and not get hit from behind. Not sure what the verdict there would be, but Turdy gets a little bit of a draft off Monty here, and they will be battling out into turn 1 for the final lap of the sprint race. Turdy has a good braking into turn 2, and Monty is the inside, however, and we'll get probably a little more speed off that. We also have JP on D-dubs just further ahead. Sure. It's also just so big of a track, I can't tell what individual people or cars are doing on track and like how close they are on the track map. It's just blobs of arrows. That is all I see. Still got a little bit of a battle here, but JP will keep himself right behind D-dubs. Probably a wise move there. But if JP wants to get a good footing for the second lap on the Nordschleife, probably wants to get out of D-dubs, but probably not going to do it. Getting out of that chicane there. keep it very steady up front. Actually, there was a position change between Zelda and SD. Apologies. Probably pretty early on then. I completely missed that. But still a long way to go. Final lap, but there is 6 minutes remaining. The lap, at least for stepping up front. Going off there, and a little bit of a battle back here between Pumpkin and Crocodile. Crocodile is going to get a very good amount of speed going into this, and goes right past Pumpkin. Do keep it clean despite it getting a little bit darker, so it's just that much harder to see there. It's a very tricky turn to take. Into lap 3 of 3, 4, and 5 of the future. It's going to get dark. Stuff is still nicely in front, and Zelda starting to chase up on him there. Chewbacca brakes a little bit excessively, I think, a little more than Turdy would like, going into these two left-handers. And continue up with, stick with these guys for a little bit. Some good racing here. He's not too far behind at all. It's looking pretty good for Stefan. All he has to do is keep it clean and feel pretty secure first place here. To win any race on this track is quite the achievement, so we're not going to be too early with the congratulations. There's still a couple minutes more to go. Zelda, though, is pushing quite a bit. You can kind of tell the difference in how they're handling the cars. The Corvette, probably not as good as handling on these tight turns as the Supra, but yeah. Could be a close ending here. SD's not too far behind either in the Gen X. Pretty relatively spread out in the back here, but everybody can see each other, so that's a good thing. Right-hand's having a bit more trouble in the back though, but it looks like those rear tires on the R8 are hurting him on every single race, it seems. probably will be Zelda's last chance to get a good try to close that gap a bit there on Stefan, but it looks Stefan's going pretty quickly. He does seem to be closing a little bit of a gap here, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough to make that big of a difference for the end. But SD is pretty close behind Zelda. He's caught up quite a bit. He's also gaining slightly, more so than Zelda is on Stefan. But it doesn't seem to be quite enough. Although, maybe I spoke too soon. A bit of a drag race here. He probably should have gotten a little bit more, of a draft off of Zelda to maybe give him a bit more of a challenge. However, great result from the top three there. Munkin might have a little bit here on Cracker Belly. I think the rest are drawn out. So P-Dubs in P4, JP in P5. Turdy will finish up in P6. Reese will finish P7. Quackhouse P8, Crockerbelly P9, Munkin P10, Schumacher P11, Monty P12, and Lordhands P13. Just recording all this so I at least know where everybody is for next race. Looks like Schumacher was. Oh yeah, he dropped a good few spaces there. Oh no! Oh, that's devastating. I'm sorry, bud. Oh, that's the worst place to lose it. I knew I saw him further up earlier. That is so unfortunate. Sorry, mate. So, see our biggest mover for finish of the sprint here, and that will probably go to JP, I believe, up 7 spots. That is brilliant stuff. Good bit of changing around though. From P3 and down, a bit of movement in the order, but I guess it's the same. So I think, yeah, driver of the sprint there would be JP. Brilliant race. There's a lot of overtakes for 2 laps. We are going to go to the feature now. It goes to show the guys in the interviews who answered that they like their car the most of this tier are doing the best so far. shows confidence in these cars is absolutely key. And of course, we will have a reverse grid order for from the sprint to the feature. So Lord Hands will be up in pole, and this is a rolling start, so we have a little bit of space and getting some gaps in between these guys for first little bit. No, not quite. Sorry. But we will get going, as we're already a few seconds in. It's alright. Alright. So, off and away we go for the future race, round 3. A little bit of bunching up here. Some not great starts from some of these lads, but it all really matters about how you get around turn 1 and 2. It really sets the pace there. Monk gonna lose out to Quackhouse at least there, and I think there's some more shaking up. Turdy looks like he's gotten up a couple of spots. And D-Dub's losing out to SD and getting the inside line on Zelda. Looks like he will keep this as long as he keeps grip and speed, which he does. Good job. Turdy and Monk are going to be a little bit of contact here between their wheels. Almost too wide in a bunch of spots, but everyone kind of spaced themselves out well enough to avoid any calamities. Lord Hands will keep it up in first place, Monty behind him. Top 3 have stayed so far, but Lord Hands does go off into the sand pit and will lose a bunch of spots because of that, so Monty, Schumacher, Cracker Valley all passed. Lord Hands at least will keep the spot from Quackhouse and 5th behind him. And Reese going in for a little bit of a move, but backing out just in time. And there's one going on here as well. We are nearly 3 wide. With Zelda going right behind SD. And Zelda going off because he just doesn't really have room to turn. And Turdy losing absolutely all of his rear tire traction and will fall to the back if T-Dubs pulls it through, and he does. I'll have to step in here. Monty well ahead of Schumacher here, but Schumacher takes his Ferrari off track and gets a little bit into the wall with some damage. Loses a spot to P3 to Cracker Valley. Quackhouse putting a bit of pressure on Lord Hands. Lord Hands will keep it for here. Oh no, I spoke too soon, I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry about it. SD and Monkey going at it. And SD gets that position there and he is on his way back up until he takes just too much speed. It doesn't look like he let off there at all. Really trying to make that move and goes off into the grass. Also gets some damage there himself. JP is going right in on D-Dubs. Is trying to secure that inside line, but it's too far behind, it looks like. It's a little bit of contact D-Dubs, and D-Dubs does very well to keep his car under control to a very high speed turn. JP is very much putting a lot of pressure on D-Dubs to get moving, and Stefan is taking advantage of them fighting and sneaks himself straight into P8. Very well done. A little bit of rear tapping action there, but both cars stick it. Schumacher having a little bit of trouble, it seems, on the squirrely Ferrari of his. That car is definitely known to be a little bit tough to control, but it definitely pays off. And there he is. If he can learn how to control it. It is a beast. Reese gets tapped from behind there. We're going to take another look at this from Zelda. A little bit from the rear and doesn't break while he's inside the back of him there. SD going a little bit off there, but keeping it well in. That was a strange little offering there. I don't know if that might have been lag or something. I know for me it was a bit chaotic with some of the lag issues. Lovely PG servers. Monkin tapping Turdy out a little bit on this very important right-hander into this long uphill flat section. Turdy gets well off, as well as SD, who passes Monkin. So it'll be SD and Turdy playing chicken up here on this quick left-hander to see who breaks less. Find out. Oh, Turdy tries to go for it all there, I think, and get that extra speed, but too much into it, and off into the wall, drops 2 spots. SD will keep himself nice and clean. Double check out front here. Schumacher is gaining a little bit here on Monty. No. Monty's doing a very good job keeping himself in front. Zelda's drop off a little bit on Schumacher, so it's all about consistency. Pace is one thing on this track, but it's just keeping yourself on track and keeping your tires all underneath you. Because it is too long of a lap, and yeah. So, one thing we do have to go over quickly is tire strategies, and fuel as well, because fuel definitely comes into play here. I believe most started on softs, it looks like. Monty started on softs here. Zelda's on softs, who takes... Oh, he was off there. Missed that bit. Schumacher also on softs, but he's going to lose a spot because he's gone off there himself. A little too much curb, and tries to avoid getting in Zelda's way, which I respect that. Far enough ahead of Quackhouse for the moment. Zelda's on mediums, so he's probably going for 3 laps on those. Quackhouse on mediums, JP on mediums. Oh, we're not on mediums, okay. SD on mediums, Monkin on softs, Play on mediums, Kirby on softs, Stefan on mediums, Hands on mediums, Reese on softs, and D-Dubs on mediums. So, yeah, slightly more cars starting in the mediums there on that strategy, which is probably the safer one. Want to save your best pace and for the end. And if you can squeeze 3 laps, oh no, and he's going straight drifting into this double right-hander, and Turdy's going to lose out to Stefan there, who's slowly climbing his way back up the order from his sprint race win. See if you can replicate that here. Losing his rear tires also a little bit there, a little bit of a drift, but he is gaining right quick on Machiavelli. Yellow flag. Oh, SD, no. SD and JP are fighting, and that will... JP pretty much pushes SD completely off the track, and Monkin is lucky not to go along with him and past him. So SD will take quite the hit there for his feature race. I'm sure that has gone to the steward's room. Stefan will be closing it in quickly and looking for a smooth pass on Crackavelli. Got Lord Hands and Reese here on quite the drag race, trying to gain that very important position before going into lap 2. SD is still struggling there a bit because of the accident. He's probably definitely got damage there. Yeah. He probably did have damage, but it was ready by the time we get on into the straight. So SD keeps at least one position additional from dropping, but we will lose another one on the straight. It's just unfortunate for him there. And then go back. So Monty will keep his first place for now, which he's held for pretty much the entirety of the first lap. With a good margin on Zelda. Zelda has a good margin on Backhouse. Schumacher, despite going off a bit there, is keeping pace behind Backhouse as well. Munkin behind them. JP, Stefan, Crackavelli and Turdy all evenly spread at this point. SD is right behind Reese and closing in, but too far back to make a move. Actually, so Turdy and Crackavelli at it again, and Turdy has definitely a better line. Crackavelli going a bit too far inside to really make a good challenge to keep that position. Also, I swore I saw two cars there. I did not. Schumacher still trying to make this important pass here, and not quite able to keep the pace up to challenge him so far. We'll see how that changes on these going off the GP circuit here and onto the very, very tight, windy Nordschleife. You're already seeing some big spaces here, but Reese will get the upper hand on Lord Hands for P11, and T-Dubs trying to take advantage of the drop in pace from fighting as well. Lord Hands takes it just a little too hard, and I think he clipped the curb on the left-hander on the inside a little more than he would have liked. Drops into P13, and D-Dubs is going to start the march on Reese. To this very, very quick and tight, fast section. Schumacher is just keeping it on track there, and Stefan will take advantage of the slight missteps and go into P6. He's definitely, I think, on pace for at least a podium for this, if he keeps it as he's going. Quite strong. JP will shed a few seconds off there from Stefan's challenge behind him. These two are fighting as well, Backhouse and Munkin. Oh, Munkin just takes the curb a little too far and goes takes his far right tire into the grass and spins right off. That was a bit unnerving to see, but Stefan did a P4. A lot quicker than I. Oh, because JP went off as well. I think he got a bit distracted there with Vulcan, and they both go off. So Stefan will take both spots off from there. And he's got a pretty decent lead on Schumacher already, so I think it's just a matter of time before he catches up to P3. Monty is on the softs though, and just judging by his tire wear, I think he's going to be... He could be pitting, but he does have enough fuel, so if he feels comfortable on these worn softs, which it looks like he's maybe outbraking himself just a little bit there, it's going to be tough to go for another lap on these softs, but he might be able to do it. But I think the safe bet would probably be just taking the mediums, but we'll have to see. Another 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes to go on this lap. Stefan is right behind the Backhouse already. We start to see pace differences. These lads chasing. We are going to be going to a very interesting first pit period. So you're either going to pit on lap 2 or lap 3. That is at the end of lap 2 or lap 3. That is the only way to really go about it, unless you mess up. Already taking a lot of curve there onto the grass, but keeping it on, keeping enough speed to not lose too much pace, but JP goes off yet again. And Turdy will close that gap with his spooky Halloween car. Stefan making a challenge on Quackhouse, and Quackhouse kind of just trying to get off that carousel a little early, and maybe not enough room for Stefan, who's just kind of weaving around behind him to see if he can find a gap to get through. He does have the pace, so I think he just needs to be patient here and just wait for the right moment. Save roll tires. Not mediums. Gus does seem to be feeling the pressure a little bit. He's starting to make some small errors with significantly healthier tires. But I think, yeah, so Turdy and Stefan here are on the same car, same team, with different tire strategies. So Stefan has started on mediums, which look pretty good, definitely enough there for another lap. You have Turdy, whose tires don't look much worse, if I'm being honest, on the softs. And maybe enough fuel. It's hard to tell without seeing the percentage remaining, but might be fuel saving enough just to make that lap work. He's doing a very good job, I think, on this lap particularly to keep his tire life, or extend that tire life. Oh my goodness, I missed that. So Stefan here will take advantage of a somewhat tricky uphill left-hander and into last little tiny carousel. I'll have to do the make up for this one is, but off onto the main straight with Quackhouse just behind him, so let's see if we got another position change coming into this. But Zelda and Monty securely ahead still. Monty certainly will be coming in. That is not enough tire to last one lap. Stefan will keep his lead on Quackhouse here, as Quackhouse is in the middle of the track, not trying to get draft, and draft off Stefan, which I think he could have benefited from a little bit. He probably wouldn't have closed the gap completely, but he'd probably be half the distance closer than he is now. And we're gonna... Monty is not pitting. He is keeping the softs, which I think is a bit of a bold strategy. Maybe he just doesn't want to deal with the traffic, but that's a long bit of lap there at the end with, oh no. Oh, I bet he's regretting that at this point. Zelda's still fairly behind him, but his tires are way healthier. But he is in visible distance at this point, so if Monty can keep it clean, then props to him. I think he set himself up for a nice challenge there. But he is quite good pace as he is proven so far in this race. Stefan, good margin behind Zelda here, but I think with the open air, Stefan will be relieved with that and just go on quickly. He's got the tires for it, and he's probably going to set himself another fastest lap. I bet. Actually, he'll be pitting, so that's that lap. But it would probably be the fastest lap. Show him from his early pace. Excited to see what he's got in store for the soft tires. Flying two lap stint there. Schumacher having a little bit of trouble there. He got himself back into 6th. Wait, oh no. Right. Does anybody pit? We'll skip ahead here in a second. I just kind of forgot about people behind me. Pretty and Schumacher will be fighting, coming back on a little start-finish straight for lap 3. Either will pit. I'll probably have to go back there to second again, but that's okay. That's the nice thing about replay. Turdy gets the advantage on Schumacher here. But then Schumacher gets off the tight kind of hairpin left-hander there, and well, keeps it pretty closely behind. It looked like Schumacher was in front there for a second, so that's the only reason I'm still keeping an eye. Yeah, it's just but yeah, that 458 does not like curves, so I can see why he's probably hesitant to stick. He's probably another one who should have pitted as well. I think another lap is off is too big of a stretch. I think anybody. I'll be shocked if nobody pits. Oh, okay, Reese goes into pit off of softs, so probably a good move there. Probably will not. Lord Hansel as well, off his mediums. He's going to be wearing it down. Oh, 3 laps on the softs probably will be pretty close to worn on those back tires, but we will have to see. They have plenty of fuel as well. So only 2 pit there. That's a pretty surprising number. I think the clean air would have benefited. Clean air and fresh tires would have benefited some of these drivers, but we won't be able to tell until the end of the race. We still have pretty much 3 laps to complete. Stefan goes off on probably his first mistake. Into the sand trap there, but has a safe amount of space. Backhouse probably going to be closing in on 2.5 behind him. Monken goes completely off and JP will take advantage of that. Hope Munkin stayed off the throttle so he doesn't get a penalty. There. That looks like he's okay. It's honestly crazy how much the order has changed since the beginning of the long straight, because that is a lot has happened since then. So Monty going down. I'm blanking on all the track names. We'll get there. I know the name of this one though. Pretty good. I think he's nice and calm at the moment and I think they've got the same gap relatively as when he corrected himself from his mistake earlier. So keeping pace. Stefan's still looking solid in P3, all the way from the back. We've got 2 DNFs so far, so 2 have dropped out. I noticed that. No, 13, sorry. There was 13. Nobody's DNF'd. It's a long race. It's late. Stefan having a little bit of trouble there. Looks like the gap is closed a little bit. So Turdy also coming in on Quackhouse and Schumacher a little bit on D-dubs. Pretty quick. Munkin seems to be having a little bit of trouble as well. I think D-dubs just drop more pace on these older mediums than they are having on their softs. Zelda has come in a lot more Monty here, so I think Monty, I'm not going to go back for it, but Monty probably had a big misstep. That is, yep. This is the tires. That's it. This is the tires there. Just not enough grip. I think he's lost. Yeah, pretty much all of his front left, which is a pretty crucial tire to have to grip on to the end of this. He's drifting a little bit. But this hill looks like just little small drifts. I think Zelda's looking very good for a result here. If he very well should be able to keep this pace in these mediums. I think he might even take a little bit off his best lap time so far. Monty's just having a lot of trouble right now. But there still is quite the gap to Stefan. So if he can just get it in to the pits before Stefan can make that overtake, because Stefan will be coming as well. I think he can have a pretty secure shot for third. Stefan, I think, pace is just too strong at this point. We'll see. Softs, they'll be on mediums, and Stefan will be on softs for maybe quick 2 laps. So yeah, I just think the amount of time he's losing here, and he's still keeping it on though, so it's good. I think Quackhouse had a little bit of a moment. He's dropped some pace behind Stefan, and now Turdy is looking to make next handful of turns into the long forever straight. This is where we'll see some fuel issues possibly as well. There is a little bit of fuel management for some of these cars on this third lap. Blackhouse will be having the hardest time, I think, with this. Just looking at fuel gauges. So that'll be alright. Blackhouse should make it though, I think. But I think he's doing a little bit of compensation here, so I think that's where Turdy's getting his extra gain in here. JP is coming right behind as well, so I think Turdy's just having a little bit of trouble passing Blackhouse at the moment, but he will likely get it done right by the next turn. Double check behind in the front. Zelda will go to pit from first place. 5% left, so he's just going to be flat to the mat on his soft stint coming up here. Monty's going to pit as he has to. Stefan is going to pit as he has to as well. And that's going to be a very dangerous 2 laps on his softs. We'll see how it goes, but Stefan and Zelda could very well be battling here for first in these next 2 laps, which sounds very exciting. Turdy, Quackhouse, and JP will all go in as well, so our top 6. SD goes in, Monkey goes in, D-Dubs goes in. Kraken Valley will definitely come in as well. Which leaves Schumacher as the last one, who's just had an awful time on those rear tires. It's unfortunate to see. He does have good pace in him, I think, just too many small missteps, which on this track is very unforgiving. We're pretty relatively spaced out into this pit period, so minus a few. In a second, JP comes out with a 3-second penalty coming just off the pit lane too early, and that's going to be very frustrating because that is an absolute killer on that long straight. That's where the penalty is. 1 second. You lose a bit more than a second. 3 seconds, you're going to lose probably 5, 6 going down that straight. So Quackhouse, I think, just knows he needs to be patient at this point, and he will get the position eventually if he keeps it at worst behind him for the lap. Schumacher will be our last to pit. He's just trying to get into damage control by passing Turdy before getting off this GP circuit, which the GP circuit is probably one of the easier places to get passes on cleanly on this very long circuit. Not able to get it done, unfortunately for him. Schumacher also got a 3-second penalty, which is just kind of the nail in the coffin for his race, unfortunately for him. But he's on softs, so hopefully, he's got the pace in there somewhere. Hopefully just keep it clean. Reese gets a penalty here for probably this. Yep, just a little bit too early coming in and very quickly handed out a 1 second penalty. Which is going to disadvantage him a bit. But there is a little bit of space behind him for the moment.
just to see the 3 seconds through this long of a lap, it's excruciating. Absolutely excruciating. I did the same thing in my own quali, and yeah, that was not a fun hot lap. Should only get 1 lap. Any mistakes just are sticking with you, as Turdy is just riding the curve on the left side there a little bit too much and losing a ton of speed off to JP, who will be very thankful for that, as he needs pretty much anything he can get at this point. Being into the lead in this part of the track is quite it's definitely starting to get a little bit extra dark now. By the end of this lap, it will be pitch black, and visibility is very difficult on certain portions of this track, and especially if you are directly behind another car, because they block your view and you don't have your reference points to brake or anything, and it's kind of the Wild West. All part of the fun, I guess, which I do, in my opinion. I love this track. It is a gem, but in the dark it's a bit of a punishment sometimes. I can only imagine how they do it in the 24-hour. I think Monken just, that is an FD. Late brake, hits the barrier on the left and gets a little bit stuck in there, which just hurts that much more. Sorry to see that as well, because he's been quite fast today. But yeah, as this track is, it's just any lapse in concentration or anything, you were flying off somewhere. ST's just having a tough time on tires. A little bit of dirt, and probably a little overheated from the extra braking. Monken's going to be trying to make a pass here. Purdy on Quackhouse. We'll be going back to that in a second, as I think this might be a little bit more important point in the guys' race. SD will keep the lead so far on Monken. Turdy has gained a little bit here on Quackhouse, but kind of goes in a little bit too inside. He's just content on being behind him, and just look at that Yoda shadow coming off of Quackhouse's Peugeot. That was a funny looking statue there. It's like a little baby Yoda. Anyway, as we go into carousel, there's a little bit of touching there by Turdy into Quackhouse. Quackhouse is struggling a little bit at that point, and Turdy's just trying to bide his time as he gets closer and closer to overtake. So not too much going on at the moment. This is happening. SD is looking to catch up on some positions here, as well as he I think his pace definitely is better than a P7 at the moment. He's had a very good day so far. The P2 in quali and a P3 in sprint. Definitely plenty of time to gain a few positions. I think he has a very good shot at doing that. Hardy's losing a little bit on Blackhouse here, and this might be important. But to try to catch up as much as he can. Because he's a threat currently of SD getting a draft off him on the straight if he continues catching up at the pace he is. Too much there, but starting to bunch up. This is going to be an interesting minute on the straight here. See what happens. SD is definitely looking to hunt down the spot. I think Turdy's on mediums, and SD's just got that extra little bit of grip and speed. I think he was just trying to get back behind for the draft and accidentally hit him instead. That would have been weird things there. I think Turdy's headlights are not on. They are on. They don't seem on. Just casting shadows very strange into there. Clockhouse Blue is out there, and Turdy and SD go right past. Turdy puts himself in a very good position, but SD is on quite the charge on those soft tires. As Clockhouse loses out a bit, there's a cone in the middle of the track. We'll say hello and goodbye very quickly to that. As we head into our final lap, Stefan is still a good ways back on Zelda, but he's still turning out a few purple sectors here as he continues to charge on his soft tires. Zelda's also on soft tires, but his pace is just a little bit slower, but still quite strong at the moment. Schumacher serving his penalty on the last lap. And Monken and D-Dubs battling it out in turn 1 and turn 2. D-Dubs, I think, forgot his hazards. They're just on. Maybe a distraction technique. Monken is on the mediums, so does not have quite the pace advantage here as D-Dubs does. SD's going a little bit too quickly into the back of Turdy, and we'll lose a good bit of time there from that little slide out. Parkhouse a little bit behind him as well. There's a yellow flag as JP goes off, and he was having a pretty solid race himself, barring a few incidents, and tries to keep it flat out and just loses it. That's a big accident for him, as he drops from P4 into P7. Looks like it'll stay that way for the moment. SD and Turdy are still battling it out. It's a well fought battle between those two so far for very good racing. And this will be the darkest lap of the entire race, so I think if SD stays behind Turdy here, he's going to be having some fun times trying to see where these corners are at. Blackhouse 2 is still keeping up. JP is just struggling a little bit. Some overheated tires. D-Dub's had a little bit of an accident there. He's got some front end damage. Schumacher is slowly catching up to Ortans, and I think there might be a little bit of a battle coming here soon. Monty loses a little bit coming into this quick right-hander. But still has plenty of room behind him to SD. I think the target here is just to maintain his P3. Stefan definitely seems to be pushing pretty hard on these softs. He's 2.5 seconds up on his currently posted track fastest lap. Try to see where Zelda's at. We'll get a sector time update. He was in the red before, about 1.9 down, if I remember correctly. Okay, purple by 0.6, so he's still 2 seconds back or so on Stefan on this lap. He's lost about 2 seconds, give or take. But keeping in purple will certainly keep Stefan behind him, as the gap is definitely there. It's definitely an advantage, and Mati is still struggling a little bit there, but we'll keep it up, as SD is just too far behind at the moment. JP is Turdy JP and JP are trying to get past Clockhouse, but this is a tough place to pass, especially in the dark. As you can see here, it is basically pitch black. I think JP might have done a little bit of a nudge there, but Quackhouse is caught pretty off and loses the spot. JP goes to P5. Turdy seemed to lose a little bit of momentum there, so he's dropped a little bit of time on this chase. But Quackhouse certainly has time to get that spot back. And SD is not too far in front, but still keeping good pace. That is not what you normally see from Turdy there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry, mate. Stuff, all these medium tires, especially, sorry. Yeah, pushing on medium tires after you doing a hard push on 3 laps of softs is quite the adjustment. Looks like he's overheated his tires a little bit, so he's got to start looking in his mirror for D-dubs. Possibly in a few, but we'll see. As we come in to the end towards the end, not the end, of this future race and the 5th lap. Monty's still having a little bit of trouble, but does still keep it on track, which is absolutely the most important thing at this point. He does have a pretty sizable lead. And we just space it out again as D-Dub goes off. That's unfortunate. Really seems to be struggling. Possibly just due to the darkness here. Cracker Valley looking to make some move on Monken before we get the final straight here, and we need to be all the way up front because Zelda is going to take first place. Congratulations. He's quite happy with that as well, so well earned. Brilliant race there. Very good job. Stefan will take P2. A very strong race coming from the far back, all the way in the back in P13 because of the reverse grid. And making very few mistakes throughout the race, and not able to catch Zelda, but Zelda was just too consistent as well. Stefan, very strong pace for a first and second place win to cap this week 3 of the 8-week season. Monty's still having better trouble, but doesn't really matter as there is still a bit of a gap to SD behind him. So Monty will finish P3, SD will finish P4, JP in P5, Quackhouse is looking to close on P6. Everyone's nice and evenly spaced out, so keep going back to the same turn, which is good. Tardy will finish P7, D-Dubs in P8. Looks like he's pretty solidly P9 there. Probably the closest gap of the remainders, but Crack Valley is definitely out of fuel at this point, so I think he's just hoping he makes it to the end. Oh, he's out of fuel, completely. So Monk in P10, absolutely. Crack Valley will be crawling to the line, but he is well positioned to get there before Schumacher does. He's just getting the first third of the straight here. And Lord Hans will cap it off in P13. Anybody else run out of fuel? No, just Cracker Valley. I ran out of fuel in my future race. Didn't matter either. Kind of the same gap there as Crack Valley did. Very strong racing, very good battling throughout this. Let's just see who had the biggest changes. Stefan, I think, is definitely driver of the day for overall. We'll see. I think that'll be put to vote. So climbing from P13 to P2 and a first place finish in the sprint and a second place finish in the future is stellar. Zelda finished P2 as well in the sprint and P1 in the future, which I think is a very strong showing from as well, because I kind of omitted that. Zelda came from P14, so that's equal amount. So great job racing for both these guys. Proper job. Monty will come from. He was second in the start and kept it very clean throughout the race. And despite a P12 finish in the sprint, finishes P3. SD finished sprint in P3. So good race from him as well. Keep getting up from the back. JP finished P5, so 2 P5 finishes for him. And he had a very good sprint race as he jumped up 7 spots. Quackhouse finished P8 in the sprint and P6 in the future. Turdy will have finished P6 in the sprint and P7 in the future here. D-Dubs with a bit of a stronger sprint than he had in the future, with a P4 in sprint and P8 in the future. Yeah, just checking through all my stuff. Good job, everybody. Yeah, should P12. So, anyway, thank you all for joining. It was my pleasure to commentate. Thanks for having me. And I'm looking forward to next week, which will be round 4 at Trial Mountain. Very different type of race. Much shorter track. It should be a 1 minute 50 instead of an 8 minute 20. long lap, so a very different type of race, and a lot more action as we've gotten pretty good action, I think, in the first 3 rounds here. So congratulations, everybody. Congratulations to Stefan and Zada especially for their strong finishes today. But thank you, and hope to see you soon.